Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going fantastic and your journey to self-betterment is going better than fantastic as well. Today I want to talk about someone I believed showed how to properly slow things down, to not react, and how to beat in most instances a narcissist, or other toxic people, and or possibly those that might not be a narcissist, but at least taking on the characteristic of a narcissist. Now when I mentioned that this was a public figure that I believe did such a good job, one of my subscribers picked it up brilliantly. He mentioned, "You know, Mike Tyson has been doing really well with interviewers lately. And guess what? That's the very person I'm speaking about. If you YouTube the words Mike Tyson, an Australian journalist, the thumbnail will have the interviewer wearing a check sleeveless dress or top, and Mike Tyson wearing a black jacket and a white shirt. Now when this interviewer starts off this interview, in an underhanded way yet almost politely saying he's dangerous and not civilized, meanwhile showing his past moments that happened in his life decades ago that aren't his most flattering. Now you see. Here's what I've talked about before. Narcissists put us on display. They create these problems in us on purpose. Then they turn us on like a remote control robot. And they watch us act up, get upset, and then they can point and say see. Hence the name of what we are. Scapegoat. And oftentimes it takes a lifetime to figure ourselves out, better our lives, and stop falling for the bait. I'm pretty sure when Mike was young after his trainer passed away, there were people that egged him on to act crazy and to say crazy things, because they got supply from it. And they also generated income by the way of the media. Remember, the media makes money on others' pain, misery, and crazy moments. So if you were trained and raised by a narcissist, you might have some traits you don't know about that are narcissistic-like. Though you are in no way a narcissist, you might be an extreme empath. Also, it's important to know, narcissists or other toxic people will plant seeds. You have to see what appears to be happening here. It's really slick. You know how a narcissist will do a smear campaign over time? They will say, you know, James is a really good kid but... And then my mother would say, he has a bad temper at times. Or he's this or he's that. So they will praise you, meanwhile quietly tearing you down and making others see or feel bad about you. All without you knowing it. It's masterful how they do that. Well, instead of doing this over time, media and television interviewers are masters at this. And they don't need a lot of time to do it. They can do it in a short 5-minute segment. And it can be done within the first 30 to 60 seconds of the segment. And that's what appears. I stress appears to be happening here. He's talked up big, but with the underhanded jab taken as him as a person, while showing clips of moments decades before doing self-work and trying to better oneself. And that's likely where Mike and his PR people or handlers knew something was up. Plus here's the thing. Mike seems to be aware, and he's talked about this before in other interviews where he's talking with his friends. That's what these media people do. This is how they behave. So he's now well aware and expecting these people to act how they most of the time act. Just like you should expect narcissists to act how they act. Now the main focus of this interview is he's in what appears to be a car commercial, where these young ladies that don't know how to drive very well swerve to not hit his famous pet tiger. Then Mike Tyson comes out of nowhere asking them have they seen his pet tiger Francis. And the interviewer tries to press Mike and tried to get him to engage in a conversation that doing such a commercial makes women look bad. And how does he explain such things to his daughter? Now, like or not like this commercial? His answers are short. He's not overly defensive. Because again, narcissists or those like them know. If they take a dig at something successful you've just done, your first reaction is to go on the defensive. Mike didn't really do that. He just kind of brushed it off and said, "It was done in good fun and my daughter is too young to think about such things." Then the topic changes. The interviewer tries to ask him about what he thinks about his past career as a boxer. Here's the thing anyone that knows Mike Tyson knows. If he's friendly with someone and really likes someone, especially someone that admits their flaws too, he might open up about his boxing. If the situation is warranted. A 5-minute interview where the focus is on his recent car commercial. And the interviewer is taking underhanded jabs seemingly disguised as polite questions. He knows that this is not the time or the place, nor the person to discuss this with. So what does Mike do? He errs on the side of caution and doesn't engage. He says, "I really don't think about my career. I think about the future." Short and sweet. She tries to press him on this. And he doesn't offer up grand explanations as to why. He just matter-of-factly says, "I don't really think about it. No, I just don't." He's not giving any supply to this interviewer. He remains calm, relaxed and understands the role of some of those in the media. Now this is something that I want to talk about and that was mentioned in the comments section before that I really think nails it. We are told to be more like Jesus. And yes, that means I believe to be kind and loving. But I also believe it means to be wise. When Jesus walked the earth, the scholars and priests of his time were always trying to play narcissistic word games with him, to get him to misspeak about this deeds and daily interactions that would somehow go against the faith. Jesus knew. He knew from the get-go. That's what these vipers were doing. And he gave them no benefit of the doubt. And he carefully made sure every word was precise and wouldn't paint him into a corner he didn't want to be in. It's important to know. The first thing a narcissist says is usually a setup for the things to follow. And they don't ask these simple plain questions for no reason. "Hey Mike, what do you think about your boxing career? What are your regrets?" If he were to speak about that openly and honestly, without picking his words carefully, she could have likely found holes to exploit and pick them apart. To where she could use these holes to circle back around to the original issue she had, which was with this commercial she was trying to go after. So he kept his answers short. The more one says, the more of a chance something can be said that can be used against you. Also he kept it polite. He even said at the end, hey, it was lovely talking with you." Or something to that effect. This is also something that I have learned and worked on myself. Even when someone appears to be not on your side and trying to paint you into a corner, no need to say to them you know what they are up to or even act like this is the case. It will just make it worse. However, after you used good wordsmithing to get away unharmed, so to speak, be polite. "Hey, it was nice speaking with you today. I hope you have a great rest of your evening." And don't say it mean or sarcastically. Say it sincerely and in a real kind way. This might leave the narcissist wondering, did you really understand what they were trying to do to you? It might confuse them. If you are sarcastic and mean at the end as you part ways, they will know that you are onto them and you just beat them, which may lead to them coming after you again in one form or another. But if you are kind and polite, they might not know what the heck just happened. Also, the more you do this, the better your reaction time will be. Here's a great analogy I can use here. Think of it like becoming a rapper or learning how to rhyme to the beat, any beat, and freestyle. and come up with a good story in your freestyle. At first you might be terrible at it, but over time, someone can turn on any beat and you can freestyle about the steering wheel of your car, or a rock on the ground. Your reactions will get faster and faster, and more organic, and easier. Well, slowing things down is the same. You will notice you will pick up right away when something is off. And you will give answers just like Mike. You know, I didn't see it that way. Or I didn't hear her speech. My daughter is too young, she wouldn't even understand this. I don't really think about my career. Short, simple and to the point. But what I would like you to do: YouTube the search terms, and watch the video, and tell me what you think about Mike Tyson slowing things down, not engaging and choosing his words carefully. Let's get the conversation started. The narcissist tricks are out, and people are learning. We are learning indeed. Let's keep going, people. Also, thank you again for your support. Each and every one of you. I really do appreciate it. And if you're new, please subscribe and help push this channel to the front of YouTube. We have been at this for over a decade. And I believe the more recommends and eyes that are on this channel, the more people are going to be able to help themselves and get to become narcissist free. So subscribe, like, share, and comment. Let's be active and let's share this word with others that need it. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.